Hi everyone, I'm Heidi from Susan's family. Today I'm bringing you the Sunny Snowfall Cloak from Chinese Aesthetics series. It's made up of the main part, the edging, and decorations. First, crochet the main part. Then crochet the edging. Finally make and sew on the decorations. This cape comes in both long and short versions. The crochet methods for different versions are almost identical. Here I'll demonstrate using the long version as an example. I'll explain separately when we reach different positions. First, let's learn the main part. The main part consists of section 1, section 2, and the collar. First crochet section 1 and section 2 in order. Then crochet the collar at the starting point. Note that the main part is crocheted with 2 strands of yarn. Here you can take 1 strand from the middle, and 1 from the outside of a single skein, or take 1 strand from each of 2 skeins. Combine them into 1 strand like this for crocheting. For easier watching, I'm demonstrating with 1 strand of cotton yarn. Colors are random for specific yarn, color schemes and hook sizes. Please refer to the detail page of our product and paper instructions. Let's start with section 1. Begin with a foundation chain. Work back and forth in rows. The stitches used include chain, double crochet, single crochet, DC 3 in 1 and DC 2 in 1. Now watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. First, make a foundation chain. Leave a yarn tail and make a slip knot. Refer to the pattern and work the corresponding number of chains. Note, don't make the chains too tight. Check the stitch count after completing. The swatch has fewer stitches here. The casting on is complete. Now work row 1. Make 3 chains as beginning chain. As the turning chain for the double crochet, count as 1 double crochet, corresponding to the last stitch of the foundation chain. Then pick up the 5th chain from the end. Sew the top strand of yarn. Work 1 double crochet, 3 chains, skip 3 chains, pick up the next stitch and work 1 single crochet, 3 chains, continue to pick up this stitch and work DC 3 in 1. That means working 3 double crochets into the same stitch. The DC 3 in 1 is completed. Skip 2 chains, pick up the next stitch and work 1 double crochet. Then skip 2 stitches and work DC 3 in 1. 3 chains. Work 1 single crochet in the same position. 3 chains. Call this section of stitches starting from the first chain a group 1. Then skip 3 stitches and work 1 double crochet. Skip 3 stitches and work a group 1, that is, 3 chains into the same position. 1 single crochet. 3 chains. 1 DC3 in 1. Skip 2 stitches and work 1 double crochet. Skip 2 stitches, work consecutive DC3 in 1 in the next stitch. Three chains. 1 single crochet. 3 chains. This completes 1 group 1. Continue skipping 3 stitches and working 1 double crochet. This row alternates between 1 double crochet and 1 group 1. Refer to the chart and continue until the last motif. Go to the corresponding position. Pick up the last 2 stitches and work double crochets. This completes the first row. Now work the second row. Chain 1 as beginning chain. As the beginning chain for the single crochet. The beginning chain for the single crochet doesn't count as 1 stitch. Turn the work counterclockwise. Pick up the double crochet stitches underneath and work 2 single crochets correspondingly. Go to group 1. Check the texture of group 1 before working. Here, work 1 single crochet into each chain space between the single crochet and the DC3 in 1. Work 1 single crochet in each, on the single double crochet in the middle. Work 1 single crochet. Work 3 chain spaces in the remaining positions. That is, work 3 chains first. Then work into the corresponding positions. 1 single crochet and 3 chains. Call the pattern starting from the first chain, group 2. When crocheting, group 2 always corresponds to the top of group 1. Next, pick up the double crochet between the two groups. Work 1 single crochet. This row alternates between one group 2 and 1 single crochet. Continue down and finish the last group 2, according to the chart. Come to the corresponding position. Pick up the stitch and work 2 single crochets corresponding to the beginning chain. Pay attention, at the beginning chain position, pick up both strands of the top chain stitch to crochet. Row 2 is completed. After finishing this row, you can try it on, or measure the length, and compare it with the data given in the chart. If it's close enough, continue crocheting downward. Next, work on row 3. This row works into the single crochet stitches. Skip all the chains. Work 3 chains as beginning chain. Correspond to the stitch below. Turn the workpiece and work 1 double crochet into the left stitch. The left side is pattern 2 from the previous row. Skip the chains. Pick up the next 3 single crochet stitches. Refer to the pattern and work out motif 1. After completing it, check. This motif 1 aligns with motif 1 from row 1 below. Next, work 1 double crochet increase into the left single crochet stitch. That is, work 2 double crochets into the same stitch. One double crochet increase is completed. Check it. This row is alternating crocheting 1 motif 1 and 1 double crochet increase. Everyone refer to the pattern and work all the way down to the last motif 1. Come to the corresponding position. Pick up the single crochet stitch, and work 2 double crochets correspondingly. Row 3 is finished. Then work row 4. Chain 1 as beginning chain. Turn the work. Pick up the double crochet stitch, and work 2 single crochets correspondingly. On the left side is the position for motif 1. Crochet 1 group of motif 2 accordingly. After completing, pick up the double crochet increase between 2 motifs 1, and work 2 single crochets. This row works motif 2 at the position of motif 1. At the position of double crochet increase, work 2 single crochets correspondingly. Follow this pattern to finish this row. This completes row 4. Take a look. Section 1 generally has a sequence of every 2 rows as a repeat. Motif 1 and motif 2 are crocheted in their corresponding positions. Consider this as the pattern section. Between every 2 pattern sections, odd-numbered rows consist of double crochets and double crochet increases. Even-numbered rows work single crochets correspondingly. Consider this part as the increasing section. At the beginning of each row and the ending are 2 special increasing sections. In the following crocheting, the stitch pattern in the pattern sections remains unchanged. Only the odd-numbered rows in the increasing sections and special increasing sections require increases. Pay attention to the increase positions, and follow the chart for your specific colorway. The remaining part of section 1 doesn't introduce new stitch techniques or methods. Just follow the previous demonstration. Refer to the chart and complete section 1. Remember, after completing the 5th row, measure the length and height of the first 5 rows. And compare them with the measurements given in the chart. If there's a significant difference, adjust your tension and rework. During the crocheting process, you may run out of yarn and need to join new yarn. Simply join the new yarn at the required position and continue crocheting. Now watch me demonstrate the method of joining yarn. Try to join the yarn within the increasing sections. It's convenient for handling yarn tails. Here I'll demonstrate using an odd-numbered row as an example. Work any double crochet until the last yarn over remains. Then take the new yarn. Leave a yarn tail. Yarn over and draw through to complete the stitch. This completes the stitch and the color change. Continue crocheting a few more stitches. Then tuck the yarn tails underneath together for securing. This is the method for joining yarn during crocheting. For future reference, follow this demonstration whenever you need to join yarn. After completing section 1, do not break the yarn. That concludes section 1. Next, let's learn section 2. The method is almost identical to section 1. No new stitch techniques are used. For the short version, simply follow the pattern chart to complete section 2. For the long version, you need to leave an opening in the middle. Below I'll demonstrate the crocheting process for this part. Those learning the short version can skip this part, for the long version section 2, except for the middle opening part. The rest of the crochet method is almost identical to section 1. First, follow the pattern chart until you reach the opening section. The opening section is divided into the left front, right front, and back body. Here, left and right refer to the actual wearing position. Let's start crocheting the left front. The crocheting method was demonstrated in section 1. Refer to the previous demonstration. Follow the pattern chart to complete the left front. After completing the left front, secure the yarn tail. Chain 1 to secure. Leave a yarn tail of about 5 cm and cut the yarn. Pull tight the yarn tail. This secures the yarn tail. Later, hide the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side of the fabric. You can hide it for a longer distance. That concludes the explanation for the left front. Continue crocheting the back body. At the opening, skip one single crochet. Join yarn to the single crochet stitch from the previous row. My sample position is random here. Take the corresponding yarn. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Draw through the corresponding position. Adjust the loop size. This joins the yarn properly. Continue with the chart to complete the back body. Pay attention to weave-in ends as you crochet. Once completed, secure the yarn tails. After finishing the back body, move on to work the right front piece. At the right opening, pick up stitches with a space of 1 stitch to join yarn. Then refer to the pattern chart to finish the right front piece. Finally, weave in the ends. Once the right front piece is done, on the right side of the fabric, work the left front piece. Join yarn at the edge stitch position, and continue crocheting downward. First follow the pattern chart until reaching the opening position. My sample swatch is already completed here. Continue with 1 chain stitch. Corresponding to the opening interval, make 1 single crochet. Then pick up stitches from the back body to work a double crochet. This completes the left side opening. Continue crocheting according to the chart afterward, and connect the right front piece using the same technique at the right opening. This concludes the explanation for the opening sections. After completing the opening sections, continue crocheting the remaining rows of section 2, according to the chart. Note, the single crochet at the chain stitch connection point should be worked by picking up the top loop of the chains, starting from row 93. Repeat rows 93 to 94 without increasing or decreasing for the remaining part. Continue until reaching the required length, making sure the total row count is even. After finishing section 2 completely, secure the yarn tails. Chain 1 to secure. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Pull tight the yarn tail. This secures the yarn tail properly. Then weave the yarn tail along the wrong side of the fabric texture. You can hide it for a longer distance. That concludes section 2. After completing section 2, pick up stitches to crochet the collar. The new stitch techniques used are double crochet decrease and single crochet decrease. Now watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method, with the fabric pieces cast on edge facing up, right side facing you. Starting from the far right of the cast on edge, pick up the 2 remaining strands of the edge chain stitch. Join yarn. Working 2 chains as beginning chain. Does not count as a stitch? Work a double crochet into the left chain space. Then work a chain stitch. Work a double crochet in the same chain space. 1 chain stitch. Work a chain transition between each double crochet afterward. Pick up the chain stitch of pattern 1, and work a double crochet. Pick up the left 2 chain spaces, and work a double crochet in each. Don't forget the chain transition. Consider these 3 double crochets and the transition chain as a group. This row follows the pattern of repeating 1 group. Refer to the chart. Continue crocheting until the last 2 chain spaces of this row. Come to the corresponding position. Pick up the last chain space, and the last stitch to work a double crochet decrease. The technique for double crochet decrease is, first pick up the corresponding position to work 2 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over, insert the hook into the corresponding position. Yarn over and draw through. Yarn over again, and pull through the first 2 loops. 1 incomplete double crochet is completed. Work another stitch. Yarn over. Insert into the corresponding position. Yarn over and draw through. Yarn over again, and pull through the first 2 loops. Another incomplete double crochet is completed. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and draw through all loops. 1 double crochet decrease is done. The first row is finished. Move on to the second row. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn the work. Slip stitch into the front loop to work a single crochet. Pick up the left chain space to work a single crochet. This row is to correspondingly make single crochets into stitches and chain spaces. Complete this row according to the pattern. The second row is completed. Then move on to the third row, make 1 beginning chain. Turn the work. Work a single crochet decrease. The single crochet decrease technique is, first, make 2 incomplete single crochets into corresponding stitches. Insert the hook into the stitch. Yarn over and draw through. 1 incomplete single crochet is completed. Work another one. Insert into the left stitch. Yarn over and draw through. Another incomplete single crochet is completed. Yarn over again. Draw through all loops on the hook. 1 single crochet decrease is done. Work a chain stitch. Pick up the left stitch, and work a single crochet decrease. First, make 2 incomplete single crochets into corresponding stitches. Yarn over and draw through all loops. 1 single crochet decrease is completed. Work another chain stitch. This row is alternating single crochet decreases and chain stitches. Refer to the chart. Continue all the way down to the last single crochet decrease. Come to the corresponding position. Pick up the last stitch and work a single crochet. Row 3 is completed, followed by row 4. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn and skip 1 stitch. Pick up the single crochet decrease stitch underneath, and work a single crochet decrease into the left chain space. Chain 1. Continue to pick up the next stitch, and chain space to work a single crochet decrease. Chain 1. This row alternates single crochet decreases and chain spaces at corresponding positions. Refer to the chart and continue all the way down to the last single crochet decrease. Come to the corresponding position. Pick up the last stitch and work a single crochet. Row 4 is completed. The remaining part of the collar follows the same crocheting method as row 4. Continue downward following the previous demonstration to finish this section. The collar section is now complete. The main part is also finished. Now let's learn how to crochet the edging. The edging consists of the main part edging. Section 1 edging. And the neckline edging. Long versions also require crocheting the opening edging. Crochet at corresponding positions respectively. When crocheting, pay attention. The yarn used for edging has longer fibers. It's hard to see the stitches when crocheting. You can use any yarn from home. First learn the crocheting method, then start the actual crocheting. Now watch my demonstration of the specific crocheting method. First learn the main part edging. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise along the outer edge of the main part. New stitch techniques used include single crochet increase. Now watch the demonstration. First learn the first round. Join the yarn at the single crochet stitch on the right side bottom corner of the main part. Make one beginning chain. Take a stitch marker. Place it on the yarn loop on the hook. Then make a single crochet increase at the same stitch, which means making 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Place a stitch marker before making the second single crochet. One single crochet increase is completed. The stitch marker position is the 2 single crochet stitches. Chain 1. Make it slightly loose. Then move to the side seam between section 1 and section 2. Pick up the left side double crochet and make 1 single crochet and 1 chain. Skip the single crochet below. Pick up the next double crochet and make 1 single crochet and 1 chain. The side seam between section 1 and section 2 is picking edge double crochets. Make 1 single crochet and 1 chain. Follow this pattern all the way to the junction between section 1 and the collar. Reach the corresponding position. Pick up the edge on odd-numbered rows. Make 1 single crochet and 1 chain respectively. You can adjust the insertion point as needed. Just make sure it lies flat after finishing. Continue all the way to the last row of the collar. Reach the corresponding position. First pick up the left side single crochet stitch and make 1 single crochet and 1 chain. skip 2 stitches, which means 1 single crochet decrease and 1 chain. Pick up the next stitch and make 1 single crochet and 1 chain. At the top of the collar, skip 2 stitches apart. Pick up the next stitch and make 1 single crochet and 1 chain. Follow this pattern. Finish the last row of the collar. Now let's look at the other side edge. The edging on both sides of the main part is almost symmetrical. Both sides pick up stitches evenly and make 1 single crochet and 1 chain. Refer to the previous pattern. Refer to the chart to finish this side. Reach the corresponding position. When you reach the single crochet stitch at the bottom corner, on the left side of the main part, make 1 single crochet increase, and place stitch markers on these 2 single crochets. Finally reach the bottom edge. In the increasing section, make 1 single crochet every other stitch. For pattern 2 section, make 1 single crochet in each chain space. Also need 1 chain as a transition. Just follow the chart to finish the remaining part. Finally, make 1 slip stitch at the position of the first stitch marker on the left side. Gently tighten the yarn tail. Do not remove the stitch markers. The first round is complete. Next, crochet the second round. Make 1 beginning chain. Insert the hook into the stitch marker position below and make 1 single crochet. Place a stitch marker. One chain. Insert the hook into the next stitch marker position, and make 1 single crochet. One chain. Then insert the hook into the left chain space, and make 1 single crochet. You can feel with your hands. Pick up the larger holes to crochet. Make 1 chain. Skip the single crochet below. Pick up the adjacent larger hole and make 1 single crochet. One chain. This round is done by picking up chain spaces to make 1 single crochet. Make 1 chain transition between each 2 single crochets. When you reach the single crochet increase position, correspondingly make 2 single crochets into the marked stitch. Make 1 chain transition in the middle. Complete this round by referring to the chart. Finish with a slip stitch into the marked stitch. Round 2 is done. Then secure the yarn tails. And weave them into the wrong side of the fabric piece. That's all for the main part edging. Next, crochet the border for section 1. Make slip stitches into the corresponding positions in section 1. According to the chart, stars indicate the insertion point for the hook. Position the neckline downward. This raised curve is referred to as a group. Crochet according to the shape of the group. Pay attention to sew beads at both the raised and dented parts of the curve after completing. Sew beads at both the raised and dented parts of the curve. Therefore, the number of curve groups must not exceed the number specified in the chart. Refer to the chart before crocheting. Use stitch markers to mark the raised and dented parts of the curve. Then proceed with crocheting. The insertion point in the middle of the curve can be adjusted according to personal preference. Just keep it roughly even, or crochet according to the reference position given in the chart. Next, I'll demonstrate the edging method for section 1 using a swatch. The specific insertion points are not for actual reference. First, locate the yarn joining position for section 1 according to the chart. Join the yarn on the right side. Move to the next insertion position. Pick up the entire double crochet from right to left and make 1 slip stitch. No need to tighten. Crochet 1 more stitch upwards. Skip 1 stitch and pick up the next double crochet. Pick up from right to left and make 1 slip stitch. Skip one stitch in the same row, pick up the next stitch and make one slip stitch. Continue with this method afterwards. Pick corresponding positions on the right side to make slip stitches. You can also adjust the insertion positions according to actual conditions. Just keep it flat and neat. Refer to the chart. Continue crocheting until you reach the first time passing through the pattern. Check it out. Now the edging has passed through one increasing section and one pattern once. This completes one group of crocheting. Section 1 edging repeats this group. Finally, it will form a wavy curve. Refer to the chart to finish the remaining part. Finally, secure the yarn tails and tuck them in on the wrong side. This completes section 1 edging. Next is the neckline edging. Place the main part with the collar facing up. Position the yarn below the fabric. Find the gap between the first row right side of the collar and the main part edging. Join the yarn here. Pull the yarn loop up to the right side. Now the yarn is joined. Insert the hook into the left chain space. Pull through to make a loose slip stitch. Skip the left double crochet. Insert into the next chain space and make one slip stitch. For this row, pick up the chain spaces and pull up loops to make slip stitches all the way. Keep the yarn behind the fabric at all times. Pay attention to check if it's flat after each section. Follow this demonstration to complete the row. Finally, secure the yarn tail and weave in the ends along the other edging. That's all for the neckline edging. Next, let's learn the long opening edging. Join the yarn at the opening edge. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. If you're making the short version, skip this part. Now, let's show. First, crochet the first round. Place the opening horizontally, with the collar on the right side. Join the yarn at the starting chain on the bottom right. I'll demonstrate using a small sample. After joining the yarn, refer to the demonstration of the main part, edging sections 1 and 2 sides. Refer to the chart and continue crocheting to the end of this side. Note: place a stitch marker on the first single crochet. Come to the corresponding position. Pick up the 2 remaining strands of the chain space in the middle and work a single crochet. Chain 1. Rotate the piece counterclockwise. Refer to the chart and complete the other side. Come to the corresponding position. Pick up the single crochet stitch in the middle space, and work 1 single crochet. Chain 1. Finally, slip stitch into the marked stitch. This completes the first round. Next, crochet round 2. First, refer to the pattern and crochet until reaching the opening space position on this side. My sample swatch is already completed. Come to the corresponding position. Pick up the 2 chain spaces on both sides of the space. That is, these 2 larger holes. Work a single crochet decrease. Then rotate the piece. Refer to the chart and complete the other side. Come to the bottom space. Pick up the 2 chain spaces on both sides. Work a single crochet decrease. Finally, slip stitch into the first chain. If no stitch marker was placed, pick up the chain space underneath. Round 2 is completed. Secure the yarn tails, and tuck the ends into the wrong side of the fabric. This completes the opening edging. Complete the other opening edging using the same method. That's all for the opening edging. Once all edging is completed, use a comb or pet brush to brush all the fluff to the right side. You can work in one direction. Pull out the yarn strands that were crocheted in during the process. Brush until flat and neat. That concludes the edging section. Next, let's learn about decorations. Decorations consist of pom-poms, ties, and beads. Make them separately, and sew them onto corresponding positions. Now, let's show. First, learn about pom-poms and ties. Make the required quantity of pom-poms and ties separately. Then sew the ties and pom-poms together using a yarn needle, and sew the ties onto the main part. Here's one method for making pom-poms and ties. You can refer to the video to learn the technique first, then sew them together. Note: when sewing the ties, sew them at the edge of the neckline edging. The video only demonstrates the sewing method. Next, let's show. Take the corresponding yarn. Start with an adjustable magic ring. Leave a slightly longer yarn tail. Note: don't make the starting ring too big. Start by making 3 beginning chains. Place a marker on the 3rd chain as a mark. That is the V-shaped loop below the hook. Then work 9 double crochets in the magic ring. Mark each stitch as you crochet. Feel for the stitch with 2 strands of yarn. It's a small dent. Place a marker on this small dent. Complete all the double crochets. Once completed, gently tighten the yarn tail. Then join with a slip stitch to the beginning chain, that is the first marked position. This completes the first round. Now let's crochet the second round. Make 2 beginning chains. Then work a double crochet in the adjacent double crochet, insert into the marked stitch. Mark this double crochet. Then work a double crochet decrease. First, work an incomplete double crochet in each of the 2 adjacent stitches. Also insert into the marked position to crochet. Then yarn over and draw through all loops in once. This completes a double crochet decrease. Continue with double crochet decreases to finish this round. Tuck the starting yarn tail into the pom-pom. After finishing, make 1 slip stitch at the starting marked position to join. To make the opening of the last round smaller, You can work another slip stitch opposite the first slip stitch. This completes the second round. Leave a bit of tail and fasten off yarn, then weave in ends. Tuck the yarn tail into the pom-pom to hide it. This completes one pom-pom. Follow the same method. Complete all the pom-poms. That's all for the pom-poms. Next, crochet the straps. There are 2 identical ones. Refer to the pattern. Work chains forming the foundation chain to the corresponding length. You can adjust the length according to your preference. Leave a long yarn tail before and after crocheting. My swatch is shorter. This completes one strap. Follow the same method. Crochet another one. Next, assemble. Thread the reserved yarn tail at one end of the strap through a yarn needle. First, secure it to the pom-pom. Tie off and weave in the ends neatly. Then take the reserved yarn tail at the other end. Thread it through a yarn needle. Next, sew it to the edge of the second row of the edging. There's no specific sewing method required, just make it secure. After sewing a few stitches, tie off and weave in the ends neatly. This completes one strap. Follow the same method, assemble the other one as well. That's all for the straps. Finally, let's make the pearl string. Take a main yarn. Insert the gold tail needle. Note, when choosing the gold tail needle, make sure it can pass through the smallest pearl. Refer to the chart. Find the position where pearls need to be sewn. My placement is random. Secure the yarn to the main part below section 1 edging. Note, try not to sew into the edging. After completing, take out the pearls. Thread 3 white pearls and 1 red pearl in order. Finally, thread the pearl pendant. Pull the yarn back through the pearls from underneath. Adjust the length of the top yarn tail. Finally, secure the stitching to the main part again. After completing, weave in the yarn tails. This completes a string of pearls. Repeat this process for the remaining strings, and sew them to the corresponding positions. The string of pearls is completed. Up to this point, this sunny snow cape has been fully explained. If you have any unclear parts during the crocheting process, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.